Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the title's clickbait. It's just a graphics card. Is it technically clickbait? I mean, this baby here, the 2080 Super, this thing's like 11 point something T-flops. The Xbox Series X is supposed to be 12 T-flops. So, I mean, kind of technically, essentially, we have a early Series X, do we not? Now, the way I came in contact with this is pretty special. 2080 Super. Compliments of my man Blaze 4K. This guy's been telling me for a little while. Now, there's two reasons I wanted to make this video. Number one, it's to keep your expectations of the next generation consoles. Keep your expectations in check. I'm going to tell you why. But first, let me give a shout out to my man Blaze 4K. He gifted this card to me. He just sent it to me. The dude's been telling me for a little while he's going to send me a graphics card. I keep telling him, no, absolutely not. Don't send me nothing. The guy already sent me a bunch of shit. He sent me a controller. He sent me a frying pan. Yeah, you see this? I still have it, Blaze. I don't throw shit away that's given to me, even though sometimes I act like I'm going to. And he gifted me a bunch of games in the past. So he keeps telling me he's going to buy me a graphics card. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't buy me a graphics card. So last week he's like, dude, I'm sending you a graphics card. I was like, dude, why? Don't, listen, I'm not making a video. He's like, I don't want you to make a video. I'm tired of you playing at 1080p. He's like, the fact that you play at 1080p makes me sick to my stomach. I said, dude, if this is your little ploy to get me on a podcast, it ain't happening. He tells me, stick the podcast up your ass. I'm sending you the graphics card. This cat sends me a $750 graphics card. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to say. He was texting me, asking me for my address. He had it in the past from when I sent him a Wii U. I think we traded something. I don't remember. He sent me a package with the controller and the frying pan, like I told you before. I think the frying pan was more of a joke. That was the last time he sent anything my way. That was I don't know, over a year ago. So he's asking for my address. I ignore the guy. He digs up my address through old text, I guess, and sends me the damn graphics card. So I don't even know what to say, man. That's a pretty big deal. That's a $750 graphics card. That's crazy, man. It's crazy that this guy sent that shit to me. So, you know, I don't even know what to say, Blaze. Hats off to you, my man. I appreciate you. I'll have a link to his channel in the description. Go sub to him. Who knows? Maybe you'll get free shit. I ain't saying you're going to get a graphics card, but this guy gives shit all the time. At the very least, follow him on Twitter. I have the link to his Twitter in the description as well. This is why I want to tell you, keep your expectations in check, because I installed this 2080 Super. I'm not going to say I'm not impressed, because I am impressed. But this is the thing about it. I was reading this article, and listen, I'm hyped. I'm getting off track, but I'm hyped too. I'm hyped for the consoles just like you guys are. PC performance in a console bundle, in a little console box with the console infrastructure? What? Sign me up. But check this out. I'm playing the Division 2, high settings. I put it on my big screen, 1080p, 120 hertz, because my big screen supports that in PC mode. It does not support 4K 60 hertz, and most 4K TVs don't. 60 hertz, and most 4K TVs
Did you really just say that?
I meant 4K 120 hertz! I believe only the OLEDs do, but I could be wrong about that even. I could be talking out my ass completely. I fired this up at 4K on my TV, high settings, Division 2 2080 Super. You ready for this? 4K, listen to me, 4K high settings. 40 FPS. 40 FPS. Are you hearing that? I fired up Red Dead 2. Native 4K, high settings. Red Dead 2 is a very demanding game when it's not crashing. I fired that game up. You ready for this? Native 4K, high settings, 40 FPS. Now, the PC guys right now are having a fit. It's whoa, hold on. Your high settings. It's high settings. Okay, that's much more powerful than the consoles. Okay, that's true. High settings is a big difference, and that's where the console infrastructure, that's where console optimization is going to play a big role. Like you watched Digital Foundry where they talked about some settings in Red Dead 2 were lower than low. Well, that's going to apply a lot with the consoles, but I want you to really think about this. They boast and they advertise 120 FPS. They keep saying 120 FPS, up to 120 FPS. People, if they tweak these settings, because some of the settings on Red Dead 2 on the Xbox One X were Ultra. I believe the textures were on Ultra. So you got a bunch of shit on medium and a bunch of shit on lower than low, and it's rocking 30 FPS. So you come out with this 12 T-flop GPU, you're going to be pushing 4K resolutions. People, it's not going a frame over 60. I'm telling you now, it's not going a frame over 60. This 2080 Super just further confirms it. And you can look up Digital Foundry. You can look up, they got this thing called What the Hell is a T-Flop? They got a video called What the Hell is a T-Flop? They got other videos. There's some videos out there comparing AMD to NVIDIA graphics cards where T-flops are concerned. And NVIDIA's pretty far ahead of the game in terms of T-flop performance. And T-flops is just one way of measuring your GPU's performance. It's just one way. So the fact that the Xbox Series X is going to be 12 and this is only 11, that doesn't mean it's anywhere near as good as this 2080 Super. So I just want you to get your expectations ready for 4K 60. And they're saying it's up to the developer. It's up to the developer. I'm telling you now, man, you'll see 4K 120 FPS on games like Ori. Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and Willow of the Wisp. I don't even know what the gay shit's called, but unless they put out PC settings on the console, we're never going to see 120 FPS on awesome AAA games. Games like Metro, games like Red Dead, games like Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I still love that game. It's not happening. Now, if you can tweak it and bring it down to 1080p and adjust the settings, but I don't see that happening. I don't see your typical console guy wanting to tweak settings. If you want to tweak settings, that's what they're going to... If I wanted to tweak settings, I'd go and I'd get a PC to do it. The only way that's going to work is if they got a high performance mode and a graphics mode, like they've been doing with these consoles. So, boom, high performance mode will bump you down to 1080p, and maybe then we'll see 120 FPS. But if you're looking for native 4K, if you're a resolution person, you're looking for that 4K, you will not see 120 FPS, people. But short of that, this could be common sense to a lot of you. But I feel like a lot of people are thinking that 120 FPS is going to be a thing for next gen, and I really, really don't think it is. But anyways, that's all I got for you. I'm rambling. Just wanted to prepare you. Prepare yourselves. 4K 60, I do feel will be a thing. 4K 120, not happening. I'll holler at you guys later. Oh, Blaze. You are the man.